So, ruling number 10, life path number 10. What can we expect? As I was reading, I'm realizing that this is a little out of my understanding of the basic, 1 through 9 numbers, which 1 isn't a number that you can have as a ruling number. So, it's kind of like, what what is a 10? If it doesn't exist on the earth plane, the soul plane, or the mind plane, where, what would it be? What would it be like? And I'm really interested to find out what the cards can reveal for us, because there's just a big question mark in my mind. Like, I know at least one 10 in my life, and that person is very complex. They're Yeah, they're very complex. They have like a deep inner world, but it is not necessarily there for others to explore. Very sensitive. Well, I don't know. It, they're kind of like a bunch of a lot of things. So what I did when I was reading about it, though, I did see the word temperance. And that is the card for Sagittarius. So I could see that that being the case. We haven't talked about fire signs yet. I've been leading up to this point because my my understanding of numerology is that the arrows of the will are the fire signs. So the actual numbers on the chart itself, do like a 180 there. These numbers are, Earth 147, Water 258, and Air 369 are on the chart. And I think the fire signs are actually the arrows that when they're lined up, when you do your own chart, if you have any arrows, that represents that maybe you have some fire in your chart, maybe you're a fire sign. Depending on which ones you get. And I'm going to have to make another video series here pretty soon explaining the significance of some of the more common arrows so we can understand that a little bit. But definitely watch my Intro to Numerology Part 1 and Part 2 to get kind of more understanding about the arrows. And I guess we are going to find out together if the 10 is a representation of Sagittarius in numerology, because it was seeming like that's kind of what it was saying when I was reading the description. They're very very engaging, very bubbly, very lighthearted. Sagittarius doesn't really delve deep. If they do, it's philosophical. So it's more that Aquarian and the third house energy. It's how their minds works. It's always trying to go further, but in a universal experience, the 10s that I was reading about, it just shows that they're very flexible, they're very adaptable. So they just can kind of find themselves in any situation or anything like that. Like the vocations that they were saying that they do well in is anything from well, maybe some Sag, maybe some fire, like interior design. They look really good. So I think with Sagittarius, you notice that they just have that confidence, whether they're wearing the coolest thing or not, but they have that kind of air to them, that fire. You just kind of want to get closer to them. Like I said, 7, 8, 9, and I guess 10. It's just very, very alluring personalities. Not like the other numbers aren't, but these ones really, really kind of send out those vibes, like those like me vibes, I guess. So what can we expect from a 10? What does a 10 look like? Oh, okay. So, could be a little tempting. Could be a little tempting. Or maybe this is just they struggle with temptation in their lives again and again. maybe that's why they have to adapt so much, is because they surround themselves with things that aren't good for them. I don't know. Um, so the devil can restrict, just like Capricorn energy. He can hold us back. Um, he, you know, there's just something. Um, there's a force that almost seeks to destroy with the devil. Certainly, he's kind of watching it all play out, and he's kind of enjoying the misery, the sadness, of the other people. So the devil can be, quite the character, obviously, but here when it's reversed, I don't think it's saying that necessarily the tens out there are the devil themselves, but they can fall into temptation very easily. So, we see that with a very engaging person that's not willing to delve deep. Obviously, there's a lot of other things. If they're not willing to hold themselves accountable on a deep level, you know what I mean? They could easily fall prey to some of that stuff like lust. If we're talking about marriage, it's kind of unfaithfulness. It's just because when we see the devil card, we're basically seeing the lovers card, but it's like the night version of the lovers. The lovers, that Gemini energy is just daylight. It looks very youthful. It looks like there's movement happening, like two forces are joining together. They're joining hands, Gemini. And everything looks good, for a minute or two, and then the devil comes in, and he casts a shadow over the couple, and is like, what was really at play here. It's now I'm gonna see how far I can push each other, and maybe cause some friction. I don't know. It's just it's not a great card to see, obviously. So, 10, we get the Three of Swords reversed. So, this is like, okay, so tens, it looks like you attract maybe some people out there that kind of want to hurt you. That they're wanting to see you with that confidence and that adaptability fail. They're wanting to see that from you. And that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. But don't hurt yourself, because we can also see with the devil and the Three of Hearts that that's a self-inflicting pain. So it's hard to say when it's reversed, but it looks like it's forces that are working against you for sure. So whether it's your own, you have like a self-sabotage tendency, whether you find pain comforting, whether you find restriction comforting, maybe there's some Capricorn energy in your chart. Yeah, so let's see what else we can get here. Shuffle those back in. Oh, okay. Okay, so these came together, so I guess I'll read them together. But King of Cups reversed. Yes, definitely, there will be people toying with you. King of Cups is the lover, the male lover. So, is love the best thing for us? You guys are gonna be harder to understand because you're off the chart. You know what I mean? Like your purpose isn't as easy to understand in the way that I view numerology, so I'm hoping to learn something here. But King of Cups reversed, he really uses his emotional power to, kind of churn up storms for other people, to kind of bring the chaos. And we see that with the Devil reverse and the Hearts reverse. So this is tying into that. So I guess this is less about you guys and more about what's happening around you constantly. So really be careful of who you surround yourself with and the mate that you attract. It almost looks like love can be a prison for you guys, and so it may be taking you off course if you can't really discern for how somebody is truly affecting you, because you're not willing to go deep and see what's truly there. You know what I mean? So if you're staying at surface level, it's harder to see um, the real thing for what it is. You know what I mean? If you're just too scared to even search for it, you're just kind of denying yourself that justice or that kind of closure in a way. So Eight of Pentacles. So you guys could be really perfectionists. This I'm very. This is all resonating with the one person that I'm thinking of. That's a 10. Very well resonating. So perfectionist, you guys like are always working towards something, and you don't give up easily. But does it have to be perfection? You know, perfection is an interesting concept for you guys because it's like you are not going very deep into things, but yet you expect perfection maybe on a surface level. You want everything to look good. You know, you want it to look good, to feel good. Like they were talking about the fashion and everything, like how you guys have a flair for that, or maybe you find yourself somehow in the fashion world or community, stuff that you follow. But it's interesting. It looks like there's some presentation issues here. So, like I said, maybe that childlike sun energy, we're not really getting to the heart of the matter. But Two of Wands. So you're always wanting to go places. You are a worldly person. You do like the change and movement. Although maybe you're typically unsure of where to go, and the two can represent that there's kind of always love where you go, or it's you're never going off by yourself. You're never venturing off by yourself. There's another person attached to you. So maybe once you find yourself in a relationship that's not working, it's really hard for you to let go of that. And maybe you don't feel like you deserve more than what that person offers. Maybe you talk yourself into saying like, what is it? We accept the love we think we deserve. So maybe you don't think you deserve all that much. But yes, very, very, very true of the person that I'm thinking about. Which I guess I'll say hello. I'm not going to say your name, but okay. So this guy's come out twice. So where do we go? Well, we go where the money is, of course. Maybe you guys are sent in a lot of directions with job offers. Maybe you find a job that allows you to travel. That allows you to go on a lot of trips, lots of movement, but lots of change here. So you're trying to find that perfect fit. Obviously, we see that with a perfectionist, and we already got a traveling card here. So your mission in life is to find the profession or the vocation that most speaks to you, that can really make you feel abundant and worthy and wealthy. So that's really your mission in life. It's going to be work related. It's going to be amassing material wealth. That's your focus. We already have a Pentacles present and the Devil temptation. So yes, we see some green eyes, some eyes with dollar signs in them. We're after some wealth here. So it's not a bad thing, but to each his own. So what else do we have for life path number 10? What else can we expect? Maybe I'll draw 10 cards. Hopefully that'll be enough for some true clarity here. Life path number 10. Oh, okay. Huh. I was looking at the Sun card pretty hard, and then I drew Strength. So more fire. So we may even see some Leo energy out there. But this is talking more about what's the opposite of strength, you guys? Weakness. So because we aren't willing to truly know the real reason behind things, if we aren't really getting past the surface, we aren't discovering um, what we need to see in order to be stronger. Do you know what I mean? Leo is emotionally intelligent because they shed light on something that's calling their attention. They don't look away from it. They address it, and that's why you see a lot of like hero archetypes and stuff. Take care of that bully, right? They don't let them out of their sight. You know what I mean? Like when that situation is happening, it is calling out to them. It's like the sun has illuminated it perfectly, and it's inspiring them. It's giving them that sense of purpose. Like I'm gonna step in here, and I'm gonna save whatever's at play here. Like it's just so obvious to them because of that sun energy. It's so illuminating, and here we can't see things for as they are. Maybe that's a struggle for you guys because, like I said, you almost you don't want to look further. Maybe you're scared of what you may find, and you may find that there are people that want to take you down. That could be very close to you guys, and that's a shame because you guys have a very childlike kind of way. But there's that temptation at play. There's the devil. So you guys have a penchant for wanting to be a little naughty, but in a bigger sense, not just like sexually, but doing something that's not right. So I guess we can talk about these two. King of Pentacles, maybe Centaurian energy. There's that greed. So, like, you guys want to make some money moves. Here, it's upright, so we're not reversed. So we're not using it to harm others, or like the King of Cups is emotionally manipulative. The King of Pentacles would be financially manipulative, or you know what I mean? Like he wouldn't share. He's not giving. He's not charitable. He just wants more and more. But in this case, it's more so that you just like the finer things. You do. We were talking about the fashion and all that with the 10 description, and so you really like the lavish stuff. You love to enjoy. You love to indulge. You love your home to be a palace where you can kind of throw parties. You can just, you know what I mean? It's gotta look great. You want it to look like a magazine or like a movie set. It's gotta be that thing. So maybe that's where we're striving for the perfection. So you can see that this person really has a lot at play here. Every kind of different aspect of life is kind of on the table here, and so I guess it makes sense that if there's more attention to one thing, there would be less for the other. So here we're a little materialistic. We're a little Venus energy. We just want to have a good time. We want to keep it light. We want to enjoy things. Maybe we love wine and parties and drinking and friend time, and yeah. But there is a castle at home, and you guys put a lot of effort into that. Again, that interior design may be really good for you, but we shop at IKEA a lot, whatever it is, online shopping. So I will say that we drew this right after, and the only reason why I kept it was because it ties very well into what I was seeing at the beginning here. So you guys have a penchant for self destruction in your love lives. So this is, you know, this is like you just can't move past that one love. It comes up again and again for you. You just can't let it go, um, and maybe you had something there that you don't have currently. You know what I mean? But it's always like there's a lot of Pentacles energy, and Pentacles and water is the past, and so it looks like it's hard for you guys to move forward in a deeper spiritual sense. We are missing some fire here. We see two, but it's more about where you want to move, where you want to travel. It's not necessarily about, because we see strength reversed here, and that's weakness. So you guys don't realize your own strength, and you would rather, yeah, you'd rather keep it light. I'm even as I'm saying that, I'm trying to keep it simple, for you guys to understand. And then, okay, um, I'll keep the Knight of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles came out before too, so I'm going to keep him. But Knight of Wands, very, again, flamboyant. So you guys are willing to go places, and you kind of want to be noticed. You know what I mean? Like you want to have that energy where you're attracting attention. You want to be complimented on what you're wearing. So maybe you wear something that's a little more current or trendy. You know what I mean? That's attracting attention. There's flame on the helmet, so maybe you do something to your hair. But yeah, you love to look good, and again, keeping it light. Like I'm getting a lot of like Libra energy with this Venus and everything. And again, I have this theory about Libras, but they tend to choose partners that I don't always feel are right for them. But the Devil, there's that relationship, and then the Three of Swords. So my advice for you guys is just to take your time. You don't have to move so fast, and you don't have to be unhappy. Sadness is a state of mind, and you don't always have to live that way. Okay. Yes, there will be times for it. Yes, everyone has their ups and downs, but you don't have to trap yourself in a position that you are going to stay sad in. You know what I mean? And don't let others emotionally manipulate you. Don't give them that power. If you get that feeling that somebody may be persuasive or not really looking out for your best interest, try to give that some illumination and see if you can further divulge what's really at play there. Get a second person's opinion. A friend that you really trust or something. It's don't just think because you are in a situation that's how it always has to be. You always have a choice. And if you really got this energy that this person is working against you, and I don't know what my advice is when it comes to love for you guys, because it just looks like it's all bad. And maybe you're just meant to be a little more independent, because there's some real big career stuff here. And I think that's really the focus for you guys, is finding the way to making this happen, to where you feel really confident, really abundant, you can really enjoy. So you got to work hard to get there, but it's almost like you're looking for, maybe you're trying to make your own kind of career or vocation, or like you want to, what do they say? I was watching The Social Network yesterday, and they were saying something about Harvard students opt for creating a new job as opposed to trying to fit into a field that already exists. And maybe that's you guys. Maybe you guys are trying to really break some ground in the job market out there, and that's your focus in your life. And you're going to look really good doing it. I mean, you guys look very, very tempting, I will say. It's you look like People want to be around you. You know, very bright energy, very engaging. But yeah, it's just, are you willing to go to the depths and explore what's truly at play? And I think it would behoove you to try that every once in a while, to really get down to finding some answers that you're not getting. So, um, you know, it's just, don't sell yourself short. You know what I mean? It's just be able to let things go. Um, find whatever way it is for you to do that. Whether it's like burning somebody's items that you still have kept for years and years after you've been with that person. But it's just like you just don't move on emotionally from what it seems like. It takes a little longer. You may move physically to a new place, but emotionally it looks like you kind of stay in the same state of mind again and again. So that can be very paralyzing. We don't want to do that. Um, and just realize that that strength is there, and you just can't be afraid if you really want to use it. You know what I mean? It's like if you really want to change or want to better yourself, that it is an option for you. And it's just how much worth do you think, how how much value do you think you are? You know what I mean? It's like, ask yourself in the mirror, like, what am I worth? And it's not necessarily like a money percentage, but like you're asking yourself a rhetorical question because you know you're worth a lot, okay? And so when you have a surrounding that doesn't reflect that, that's an indication that like you're not really giving something the light of day, like you're not really addressing something, and you're opting for staying in a situation that's easier as opposed to something that you have to work hard towards getting but would be really rewarding. So just keep that in mind, because you guys do have a lot of potential. But yeah, lots of earth energy here. So Taurus, Capricorn, Leo, we may see, like I was saying, this is reminiscent of Libra energy from what I see. But yeah, any of that. So let me know what you guys think. Comment. I have one more number to go. For some reason, I was thinking 10 was the last one, but there is an 11. Um, and it usually reduces to 2, so maybe I already included that in the 2 video. I may need to address that if I did the 2 video wrong. So anyways, I digress. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this series. If you don't know your life path number and have watched this video for 30 minutes now, I don't know why. You're crazy, but you just add up your birthday. Mine is August 23rd, 1991, so I'll add it up on paper. So see here. 8 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 1. So you literally you simplify it. So 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13, 14, 23, 23, 32, and 33. So I get 33, and then we want to reduce that down to a single digit. So I add 3 and 3, which is 6. And I am a life path number 6. So, top of the mind plane for ya. That was all over the place. I apologize.